What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to Sforgo. Today we're going to talk about Liv Luminance because she's pretty much essential now for your physical team, as we'll explain, especially after her getting her leap in this particular patch, man. She is so insane for your physical team. And whenever Bianca shows up in the patch after the next one, it's going to be even more insane because Bianca's damage is just absolutely ridiculous. So let's talk about it, guys. Let's talk about the builds. Let's talk about how to play her. Now, my Liv Luminance is at SS rank. I kept her that way so you free-to-play players can see that she's actually very, very useful even at SS, even though I will be showing off a SS Alpha and a SS Rosetta. Yes, those things make a difference, but what I'm going to show you today, I guarantee you a very good skilled player with SS characters could pretty much almost do the same thing. That's right, because I'm not going to play Alpha completely optimal, as I will explain here in a little bit. But anyways, I digress. So when it comes to your leap, the first thing you're going to level up is her QT effect. Now, whenever you level up the first time, guys, she's going to heal for 20% more of HP, and then she's going to grant ultra limit torque to the target's healed, increasing her physical bonus damage by 10%. So you're getting an extra 10% physical damage for your physical team, but whenever you max this thing out, this actually goes up to 20% physical damage. So whenever you level up this first leap here, you're going to give 20% extra physical damage to your physical team, whether it's going to be Rosetta, whether it's going to be Liv, whether it's going to be Alpha, or the future Bianca, which is massive, guys. And then whenever you trigger it the second time, Goddess Connection System will trigger an additional light penalty upon a 3 ping. After light penalty has been triggered 4 times, the next light penalty triggered will become Divine Penalty, dealing 400% damage. Passive Pioneer of Glory also increases Divine Penalty damage as it does light penalty. And Pioneer of Glory is her SS passive. And whenever this thing is maxed out, Liv Luminance increases critical damage of targets healed by 20%. So she's going to give all of your characters, whenever she heals them, an extra critical damage buff by 20%. And triggering light penalty and divine penalty will increase the next deployed character's critical rate by 5% and 25% respectively for 10 seconds until it reaches maximum 75%. So she's giving 75% critical rate and 20% critical damage as long as you apply the divine penalty, which means that you need to do her blue orb or yellow orb and then do some basic attacks afterwards to apply that light penalty, right? And also the passive Pioneer of Glory, which is her SS passive. Liv Luminance gains 100 energy upon entering the battlefield for the first time. And this is actually really important because of this right here. So when signature Arcadia Gate is active, pinging orbs will trigger light penalty 1, 2, and 3. So you want to do her ult to apply that light penalty so you can get those critical rate and critical damage buffs from the previous slate that we just looked at. Times based on numbers over ping, then it deals 30% more physical damage. And when this thing is maxed out, Liv Luminance gains 40 energy every time she enters the battlefield, which is really, really good because you want to be able to enter into her signature as fast as possible. So that way you can apply the light penalty and give that critical rate and critical damage buffs to your team members, along with that 20% increase to physical damage from her QTE. And then when her signature move is active, she can be switched to other characters and exit the signature move state. Passive Conscious Encouragement, which is her SS plus passive. New effect, it lasts 15 seconds and also applies to standby characters. Divine Penalty deals 25% more damage, making her a whole lot stronger. She really becomes an insane support for your team whenever she's leveled up, even for you free-to-play players, guys. Even at S rank, SS, she's going to get all of these things and she becomes pretty damn massive. And I would really recommend that whenever you are building this character, to just use her 5-star weapon. Now you can use her 6-star weapon if you choose to do so. If you do choose a 6-star weapon, go for the type 0 because this actually will add some damage for her, whereas the other one isn't so great. This one here, the Benediction, this isn't really going to be great because this buff only lasts for 5 seconds. It's not really that great in all honesty, guys. So if you're going to use a 6-star weapon and resonate it because it will add some extra buffs for your team, this is the weapon of choice that you really should go ahead and pick. And when it comes to the build for Liv Luminance, there's quite a few builds out there, guys, but this is the build that I would recommend if you're using her as a QTA slave / damage dealer, especially if she's at S rank and SS rank. If she's SS rank, then you're going to want 2 Phillips here and 4 Da Vinci instead. But if you only have her at S rank and SS rank, I highly recommend that you use 2 Cotties because these guys will gain 20% more energy when pinging an orb. You're going to be able to use your signature a whole lot faster because you're going to use 20% less energy for your signature. Instead of 100 energy, it only takes 80, and it's just a lot easier to do your signature move, so you can get all of those damage buffs, those critical rate, critical damage buffs, along with the extra 20% physical damage from her QTE. I highly recommend that if you only have her at S rank and double S, and I've done quite a bit of testing, guys, that this is really the best way to go. When it comes to resonate for the character, you want to attack on top and you want her ultimate on bottom, right? You don't want core passive, you want her ultimate. So if I click on here and we go to resonate, swap resonance, well, let's click on skill preview here. You want her ultimate on bottom. This signature here, you want on bottom, and you want to attack and crit on top because she is a 100% physical damage dealing character. And you really can hyper tune all of their memories if you're a total tryhard with this character, if you really want to make the most out of her, because she can take advantage of the critical rate buffs because she is a 100% physical damage dealing character. Right? She's 100% physical, so she actually takes full advantage of having those extra crits. And as far as other accessories that can actually help for your Liv and for your physical team, this deer pet's actually really, really good because whenever you switch out Liv, you're actually going to give extra bonus damage to whatever character you switch in, making them a whole lot stronger. This is a level 1 pet, guys. It's only S rank, so I only needed 1 copy to level it up to S rank because this is actually an A rank pet. And you're gonna, once this thing's leveled up, you're gonna get a whole lot more bonus damage. And this is really, really important for her. And why you want to have this pet at S rank is that the carrier's attack increases by 6 for 5 seconds after pinging basic single orbs 3 times. It can be stacked up to 2 times. After it reaches max stacks, the duration will refresh whenever it is triggered, and the next switch in member will gain an extra blue orb. And that extra blue orb is really, really vital for a character like Alpha. It's going to take a lot of the RNG out of switching in Alpha, so that way you always have a blue orb available to be able to enter into Alpha's core passive, which is a 3-ping blue into a 3-ping yellow or a red, applying the sword wave. So this is actually quite awesome. But the video that I'm going to show you guys, I'm not even going to use a pet on my Liv, just to show that you don't really need it. And something that I want to point out really quick before I show you guys this run is my Alpha is triple S, but in this run that I'm going to show you guys, something about Alpha is whenever she is double S, she actually gains 10% physical damage whenever she does a 3-ping. In the run that I'm going to show you guys, I'm not going to be using her red orbs. I'm only going to use her yellow. So she is not going to get this extra 10% physical damage for 4 seconds. So you free-to-play players that have a double S Alpha, you're going to be able to do this also. And there are pets that actually increase physical damage that I'm not using. I'm just using a pet that really just applies that stun. This fire damage is useless for Alpha. So that would be another way. And the fact that I'm not going to be using the pet on Liv in the runs to add to the damage for Alpha. So you free-to-play players, don't be discouraged because you're going to be seeing me use a triple S Alpha. If you have a double S Alpha, you still will be capable of doing the same thing as long as she's built up, even with a couple rezos on her weapon. And having this weapon really will be a huge benefit if you're trying to use Alpha as your damage dealer. So the first run I'm going to show you guys is a run against an 8000 BP Rosetta. And this is freaking insane, guys. Now watch this. All right. Now I'm going to start off with Rosetta. You don't really need to do this, guys. You could actually just start off with Liv, back away, do 3 pings. You can enter in your signature, apply the signature for a little bit, switch to Alpha, right? Okay, we're going to enter the Alpha's core passive. We do the yellow orbs, and look at the damage, my friends. Alpha just one-shotted Rosetta with all those crits. Whenever you see that yellow text, that is nothing but crits. Let's watch that again so you guys can see that again, because that is some pretty insane stuff that you are watching. I guarantee with a regular triple S Liv, Eclipse Liv, A-Liv, you won't be able to do this, guys. The damage will not be the same, okay? And I wanted to show you this particular run because I'm not doing much damage with my Liv. This is all Liv as a QTE and Alpha. And, you know, we're doing 29 bars of damage in the blink of an eye with Alpha. 29 bars. And again, I wasn't using the pet on Liv. I am using those 2 Kadi, which are not resonated for Liv, which actually would make a little bit of a difference. And I'm not using a pet for Alpha to increase her physical damage. And I didn't use a 3-ping red, right? This is absolutely insane. Like, you just see all those crits that are being applied. We got to watch it one more time because this is actually really, really nuts. Look at all that yellow text whenever Alpha goes into a core passive after we use Liv. This is broken as hell, my friends. This is broken. Look at this. Watch this. Nothing but yellow text. Look at all that. Look at all those crits. Just insane. And you're getting the mass stacks, especially with Alpha, because of all the hits that she does. It's just broken as hell. Now, I'm going to show you guys a run in Warzone now. I'm not the greatest with Alpha in Warzone. Actually, I play her a little bit incorrectly in the run that I'm going to show you guys. And again, these are not optimal builds, an optimal run by no means, but I just want to give you an idea of how you want to play Liv in here, right? And this is, again, guys, I'm using the build that I showed you earlier, where I do have, you know, 2 Kadis on my Liv. And the way that I'm playing Liv, I am using her as a damage dealer. So if my Da Vinci's were hyper-tuned, if I had those Kadis resonated and had the right resonations on them, right, you know, having the ultimate, we would do more damage. And if I was playing Alpha a little bit better in the run that you guys are watching, right? Whenever you're using Liv, really the idea is to jump her in there, guys. Use your ultimate as fast as possible. Run through your pings and just use your ultimate as fast as possible. Another thing, guys, whenever you play with Alpha, you really don't want to run through all of her orbs like what I'm doing there. You only want to run through so much and have about 4 or 5 orbs left over, and then just use your basic attacks afterwards. Those crit buffs last for 15 seconds. You can still do a lot of damage with your basic attacks, and I probably could improve this run if I sat and practiced it, right? I mean, I probably could do even better, but whenever Bianca shows up, this is going to be a whole lot easier, because the truth is Bianca's just a lot easier to play instead of Alpha. But I wanted to give you guys an idea of how to play Liv like in Warzone, especially if you're using Alpha. And again, this isn't optimal, guys. Whenever you're playing with Alpha, don't run through all of your orbs all at once. I mean, you really have to play it by ear whenever you're playing in here with Alpha, right? And the pet that I'm using isn't really the best, in all honesty. I really don't have my physical team set up the way I need to have them set up, because I actually use my near team for Warzone, because I have a triple S plus near team. They're just godly in here, guys. Super easy with A2's yellow orbs. So that's the team that I actually prefer to play. But for those of you that don't have near, this is really going to be the way for you to go. And this is actually really good damage in Hero Warzone, but definitely could be better, guys. A really skilled player, and with optimal builds on all these characters, optimal resos and so on, you could have done, you know, 700,000 damage, maybe even more with this team. Even with the double S Alpha, guys, you could do over 600,000, maybe even 700,000 with a quality player having a double S Liv on your team after having all those leaps applied. So she is a character that I would highly recommend. She's a character that whenever people start off in the game, they could actually use an S selector for, and you don't need to have her at triple S. And this is why I wanted to show you guys this video. I can actually triple S this character right now. I actually can get the rest of my shards from Phantom Pain Cage, and I definitely plan on triple S-ing her, but I wanted to show you guys a video of her just at double S to show you how good she is, even at double S, even for a free-to-play player, if they don't have the 6-star weapon, if they don't have the pet, because the runs that you guys just saw in Warzone and against the 8,000 BP Rosetta, I wasn't using this pet. So guys, let me know what you think about Liv Luminance and her leap. And I do stream on Twitch at 9 p.m. TD+7 time. The link is in the description below. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one. See everybody. Take care.